Cars were still queuing for petrol in North London this afternoon, but while the fuel crisis may have eased in most places, the shortage of tanker drivers hasn't. And today the government confirmed that part of its solution to offer emergency visas to foreign drivers has attracted just 27 applicants. No surprise to those who represent them.
The working conditions in the industry are not great, just like general in Europe. So workers in Europe will not quit their jobs for a 3-month adventure in the UK. They will simply not do it.
In all, the government hopes to attract 5,000 haulage workers from overseas to help deliver food and fuel this winter, though ministers were trying to downplay the disappointing uptake.
People can earn a lot more driving a lorry now than they could have done previously, and we've got to get out of the habit of just undercutting people by constantly bringing people in when we should have people doing the job here.
But while the government had promised to make it easier for former drivers like Christopher to return to the industry, delays in renewing their licences is adding to the backlog. He's been waiting since June.
You've got thousands of drivers out there that have got licences that can't drive because they're waiting on medicals or they're waiting on applications and renewals. It's a disgrace.
The DVLA says new licences are being processed within 5 days, but in the meantime, experienced drivers are being poached from other sectors, like coach companies, who are now facing their own shortage. Drivers like David are suddenly being offered lucrative deals to drive a lorry instead of a bus.
Are you tempted?
I am, yes. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, but I am tempted to go back on the lorries. I could be putting an extra £10,000 to £15,000 in the bank every year.
Those numbers have already lured away 10% of this company's drivers, and they can't fill the vacancies.
Every day it's a firefight. Every morning you come in and you're dreading the call or a letter on your desk from a driver giving his notice in because he's decided to move over to haulage. And if it carries on at this rate, it's going to get to the stage where we're not going to get the school children to school.
The Prime Minister insists he's not worried about staffing and supply chain problems and says temporary visas for foreign drivers are not a long-term solution. The low take-up suggests it may not be a short-term fix either. Ben Chapman, News at 10.